Hello, everybody, and welcome. Not back. Oh. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new series called Coffee Talks. So, not really sure what the rules of this is gonna be, but I got coffee, see, and I have a sweet mug. Got this from Cracker Barrel. They were having like half off on their coffee line or whatever, so I bought a lot. I was also thinking of buying stuff to hang up on here, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about something that many people are going to do within the next couple months, and that is graduating high school. So, I'd like to start this off by saying I actually graduated 2 years ago. I was 16 at the time. I graduated a year before my class of, like, same age people. And that was mainly because of moving, that I just could, so I decided, hey, I'm gonna do that. And I had planned to save up a year, like, get a job straight out of high school, save up a year, and then go to college. And then work part-time, as I would have been doing the entire year, because I wasn't 18 yet, I couldn't work full-time. And pay for college, and go to college, and get my degree. It didn't work out that way. I couldn't get a job for a year. I didn't get a job until I was 18. Not even McDonald's would hire me. I guess I'm just not that likable of a person. Grocery stores didn't want to hire me. Fast food restaurants, I mean, I know I wasn't about to get, like, the highest paying job, but that is basically my graduation after story. So, graduating is a big time. I agree with that. Looking back, it's not that important. Like, I mean, the actual day, let me rephrase that. The actual day is not important. My graduation day was horrible. Awful. I hated it. Literally, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have gone. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't want to go. I actually said that I don't want to go. I don't want to go to graduation. I never wanted to go to graduation. I still hold to graduation day is stupid. But the school makes you go. So, the day itself is not important, but what the day means, and more importantly, what the final day of your school life means, your high school life, is super important. Slurp, slurp. What it means is that you're done. Like, let's be honest here. You, viewer, maybe not you in particular, but you know some of the viewers out there don't live that healthily. They may die within the next 30 years. Let's say 40 to 50 years. They've just spent, on average, 12 of those years, 13, in school. Generally, I like to consider the first 18 years until you actually graduate high school as being your school life, because you're just kind of prepping for school up until you get to, like, kindergarten or first grade, and then you're actually in school. But that's just my opinion. So, what that day means is that you're done with that. You're done with the part number 1. That's your first chapter of your life. And it's a big chapter. I mean, what happened in school, I don't care who you are, shapes how you're going to be in the future. But a lot of people consider graduation day as being a new start. It's fresh, it's clean, everything is new, everything's going to change for them. And that's horribly, horribly wrong. Yes, some things may change for you. You may already have a job. You may have a place lined up. You may already have a car. You may be ready to move out on your own, start working full time, and being in, well, I mean, you're technically already adult if you're 18, at least in the United States, but you're ready to not depend on your parents anymore, at least not as much, which is fine. But a lot of people say, after I graduate, I'm not going to be as shy. After I graduate, I'm not going to be as much of a fucking douchebag. That doesn't happen like that. I was hoping as soon as I got my degree, I was going to be able to be a confident person and go out into the world and get a job and work and do all of these things, and I had no self-confidence whatsoever. A degree does not change you. Okay? Or diploma, whatever. A high school degree, diploma, does not change you. You are who you make yourself to be. So, don't focus on that day of graduation. Don't focus on that piece of paper that says your achievements, because it's great. It is. It's heartwarming? No, that's not the word. Getting that piece of paper is fulfilling. It's something that you're not likely to forget anytime soon. It's great. The day itself you're not going to forget anytime soon, yeah. But what really matters is everything that happened before then. That teacher that you hated, that teacher that you loved, that guy or girl that you had a crush on, that thing that happened back in 6th grade that no one else seems to remember, but you do. I actually don't need these, and they almost just went into my coffee, so I'm just gonna... But all of those things have built you to that point, to get that piece of paper. And it's a great feeling. Now, I'm still not in college after 2 years, which is to the disappointment of some in my life, and indifference to others. It hasn't really made anybody happy. But the important thing is, as important as everything is before that piece of paper, while you're getting that piece of paper on that day, what's the most important is after. Because, as much as people like to think, you're not set in stone in your ways at 18. You may have very strong opinions and very certain ways that you do things and react in your personality, but you're not complete. And I'm not talking biologically, okay? Because, human brain, according to scientists, doesn't stop forming until, your 20s. Biologically, you're not complete either, but that's not what I'm talking about. You can still change as a person, which a lot of people fall into the idea that I'm always going to be the same as I was in high school. I'm going to be that loser. Well, you're not. Well, you might. But you're most likely not. Chances are you're going to change somewhere down the line. It may be because you meet someone you really like. It may be because you go to college. I need to get into the focus of the camera. It may be because you start working. For me, that was the reason why I really started anything. For a year, I'm not going to say depressed, but I was not in a very good place. I was in a place where every day I'd get up, I'd be searching for something to let me do something. I wanted to make money. I wanted to further my life. And for a year, I was at a standstill. Until I started working, and then I really changed. And it may seem like a simple concept that you should get by the time you graduate high school, but who you are in that moment is not going to be who you are later. And the diploma itself does not actually change that. So, with that, I'm going to tell you why my graduation day was not the best. So, first off, we didn't know who was coming to my graduation. We had sent out a few tickets, and all of them were like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm sorry. And, that was fine. I mean, on one hand, I didn't want to go, so I didn't really want anybody else to go. Secondly, they want you to dress nice under those cap and gowns. So, Kitty, I am trying to do a segment here. They want you to dress nice in those cap and gowns. Alright? Under. So, I was in a suit. Minus the tie. Why? Because I didn't know how to tie a tie. My dad was working late. My mom doesn't know how to tie a tie. Yes, at 16 years old, I could not tie a tie on myself. I still can't, to be honest. So, what, in this day and age, where do you go to learn something real quick? Here, I'll give you a minute to think about that. Done? Let me tell you where I went. It's where I am right this minute where you're watching this video. I looked on YouTube, and I clicked on the first video that I saw. I'm pretty sure it was College Humor. So basically, it was this guy half-assing tying a tie who showed you like the first 1 or 2 steps and then all of a sudden had his tie tied through editing magic and spitting insults the entire time. At the time, I didn't realize that it was not an actual video thing. But they said you cannot graduate unless you have that tie on, at least for the boys. So I was like, fine then, I'm not going. My mom had to drive me. I was like, I don't want to go. She made me get into the car. I was like, fine. I had the tie in my pocket. I was not intending on wearing it at all. And remember, this is a school that I've been at for 2 years. Because I moved from Virginia to South Carolina back to Virginia. So I've been at this school for 2 years. Alright? 2/3 of my entire high school career. And she calls out to a vice principal who I barely knew. I think I may have known his name. Anyway, he tied the tie for me. That tie, on that day, was like almost meltdown material. Okay? I was about to give up because of that tie. I don't even remember the tie. So, I get to the school, because you're supposed to get to the school for some reason and not the graduation site, to get on a bus. It's pouring down rain. I am wearing these new shoes that I just bought with what little money I have saved. Cat, let me let you out. It's pouring down rain, and I'm in these new shoes. Now, I'm not someone who cares a lot about shoes, but I am someone who, when I've just spent $50, $60 on these shoes, does not want them to get wet. I also, at this point, have my gown on, and cap in my hands, which would have been fine if I didn't have to hike up my gown like a dress to avoid it getting wet. Because, and graduating early, you slip through every crack possible, I had to get a spare gown. Instead of them ordering one that was my size, because I basically wasn't on the list to get into the assembly to order mine, I had to go 2 months later and be like, hey, I'm actually graduating. Can I do something about this? I need a cap and gown. So they gave me one, and it did not fit well. Well, roll with that punch. So, that happens. Bus comes, I get on the bus. I'm one of the first ones on the bus because I don't want to be there. I'm pissed off. I had to have a grown man that I don't know tie my own tie. I had got made fun of by College Humor on a fucking video that I didn't realize was making fun of until like a week later. And it's raining. My new shoes are wet. I don't like this. Then I get onto this bus with hot and sweaty teenagers for like 20 minutes. So, I wasn't hot and sweaty at that point until I got onto the bus with all the other hot and sweaty people, and it was a hot and sweaty mess. So, we go in, we don't even, have practice so much. It's just like get into the seat you're supposed to, or actually it was mingle, then get into the seat you're supposed to. And I said hi to my friends. And then I sat down because I was like, I don't want to be here. Everyone, fuck off. One of my teachers, my psychology teacher, whom I loved and really enjoyed her class. Here's the thing about my psychology teacher. Little tangent here. She was extremely strict and had her ways of doing things, but she was a damn good teacher. If you asked her for help, she would help you. And she was very passionate about what she did. About the field of psychology and teaching, I guess. And, I suppose. I didn't really see her have, banners saying, yay, I'm a teacher. But she was very happy with what she did. And I really appreciated that. Anyway. She comes over, and she talks to me for a minute. And she says I look nice, and I'm like, well, thank you. So, damn it. I said so again. I do not mean to do that so much. We end up lining up in the lines that we practice on, twice before, to walk into the place. We're walking through. It's basically a gym. A giant gym that they rented out. That's great. All the way around are bleachers and all this other stuff. Halfway around. You have the band, and I think the chorus was there, too. Yeah. Over by this big stand where... Let me move this back, actually, so you can see my hands. Over by this big stand where... Oh, and you can see my coffee. That's nice. I might do this for vlogs from now on. Oh, my table is... Okay, so... this big stand where you have these people sitting. They're all ready to do everything. And that's where you're going to get your diploma. So we walk in, we sit down and everything. Everyone's cheering. It's great. Little did I know, actually, that right where I came in, my parents and my aunt were, and they were cheering for me. But all I was concerned with was getting this over with, so I was dead straight ahead. I was pissed off. I looked pissed off. They even said I looked pissed off after. We go in. Ceremony starts. Speeches about how great your future is. By the way, I am a freezer worker, so I did not attain those high hopes in the past couple years where they wanted me to be, but I am extremely happy. Just a side note. And diplomas start getting handed out. Okay? My last name starts with a B, so I'm pretty close up to the top. In almost every single class my entire life, you know how roll call is alphabetical? I think I was only knocked down to second twice, and once in each class. And one of those times, one of the people actually left the school, so I got knocked up to first again. I'm pretty high up there, as far as alphabetical order. I get called up there. I'm pissed off. I forget what our, whatever person said to me. I can't even remember. And I'm very sorry about that. But I remember looking out after getting my diploma just for a split second and seeing all of these people that I hated and thinking, well, not hated, I just really did not like them. Everyone was annoying to me. A lot of people still are annoying to me. What am I saying? But pretty much everyone in high school annoyed me. Except for a handful of people that don't annoy me. From high school, I have two friends, three kind of, that I still come in contact with over text, and I saw one actually last month. It was nice. But anyway, of all these people that I didn't like, and I said, I don't have to see these people much more after today. I was happy. I mustered a smile to say, yes, I did it. I'm done. And I walk off the stage. Not like fell off, but I walked down off the stage. Diplomas keep on getting handed out, and you have to stay until the entire ceremony. That's fine, I don't mind it. If the people behind me, like 1 or 2 rows behind me, maybe both rows, didn't apparently know every single person in school, so every single time that a name would get called out,
headphone users, you may want to turn down or take those headphones out. Just a fair warning.
they went like this. Oh! Yeah! 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 To the point of where, after 300 names, I had a giant headache. I was not happy. They dismissed us. I was like, great. So I'm walking through. Not really a group, but like I follow out the other people who had gotten dismissed with me. And we come out of the building, and on both sides you have family and friends of other people lined and saying, oh, hey, and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm going through, and I just happen to see my girlfriend. We are not boyfriend and girlfriend anymore, and this is one of the reasons, because I went up to her, I gave her a kiss, and I was like, hey, how about you come and meet my family, because you've never met mine, but I've met yours a few times. And her exact words were, I actually have people coming. Can you get out of here? Fine. That's fine. Okay. So I go out and I meet my family. And my mom is in tears. 'Cause she is so happy. And I'm like, really, Ma? Really? I still don't get it to this day, but the rest of the night, basically, we went out to eat, then we went home. I mean, so that's my graduation story. So I guess now it's time for final words. Again, your diploma does not matter that much. It's basically something that says you achieved something, and that's great. You shouldn't let it stop there. You should keep on trying at everything. And lastly, that day probably would have been fun if I had a better attitude. Attitude is something that is very important in life, and I'm not talking about attitude like, oh, I'm so tough, oh, da-da-da-da-da, and all that stuff. No, okay, that's just stupid. But an attitude to take things as they come, deal with them, and respond in a level-headed manner. When I started working, and I'm still working on developing this, but my attitude became so different from school. It went from, why do I have to do this? I don't want to do this, to, how about I try this, I learn this, so that I have this skill for the future. And if I had that attitude during school, I mean, who knows? I could have been valedictorian. No, I could not have. But I could have probably gotten quite a few scholarships to college. And I may be in college right now. I may have never made this video if I had that attitude. And another reason, as the last thing about me, of why I didn't go to college straight away, other than financials, I was not confident enough in myself. I didn't believe that I was good enough for college, and I did not believe that I would succeed, so I considered it a waste. And I wish I came to the conclusion that I am good enough, and I can do these things by myself if I just try hard enough sooner. If I'd come to that conclusion sooner, It's taken me almost a year of working to realize I'm not worthless. I get things quickly. I can learn. I enjoy learning. If I had realized that in 6th grade, who knows where I'd been right now. So that's my graduation advice. So, yeah, just to sum that up, the day itself doesn't matter. Have fun in your achievements, but don't let that one thing hold you back by letting it be something so huge that you just kind of ride that high for a while. Because that's a mistake. And just try and have a good attitude. Because that's what will make you successful in the long run of life. Just looking at things and saying, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. So, this was the new segment, Coffee Talks. If you liked it, comment below. Until next time, I'll see you then.